All right, good morning, members and friends of the Church of the Angels. The church is an independent, non-denominational, interfaith spiritualist assembly. My name is Reverend Jenni Vinecourt, and I'm your facilitator today. We'll spend about an hour together today with prayer, some sharing and song, and a few logistics as we get started. You can join us with just your audio if you choose. The service is being recorded so that we can reach more people, so that if you don't want to be on the recording, then you can use just your audio and your face won't show up. So that's good. During the sharing portion, if you do want to be called on to comment, please raise your hand or wave them frantically. So because there's so many boxes here so I can see you, then I can call on you and you can unmute yourself then in order to make a comment or have a question. I want to mention that if you want to make a donation, you can do so through the Church of the Angels website. There is a special donation page where you can designate what service or what event that you want your donation to go to. And I want to give a big shout out to everybody who has donated already to help keep us going through this time. Our opening prayer. Mother, Father, Infinite Spirit, thank you for your blessings on all those joining us today to honor your work and experience your grace and wisdom. Thank you for providing the appropriate thoughts, insights, actions, and all resources for us to gain a better and truer understanding of your love by the words spoken, the healing brought forth here today, and the songs that we hear, so that we may lead healthy, happy, and prosperous lives. Thank you for showing us the way to accept responsibility for our lives. We are grateful to know that you are with us always. And if you would, please join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. And now I've asked Reverend Cindy Hudson to read our statement of principles. Reverend Cindy, thank you.
Sorry about that. I'm always slow with the unmute button. Okay, our statement of principles. There is one creative force of which all life is a part. This one creative force is known by many names and manifestations. We recognize and honor the many names and manifestations of the one creative force, the source of all creation, one in God. The energy of life everywhere is continuous. All consciousness is continuous. Communication is continuous. The energy of life, consciousness, and communication never cease, even after the event that is perceived as death. One creates one's own reality. One creates in harmony with the one creative force, the great power of God, of which all life is a part. Reality is as one chooses to perceive, and will change as one grows in knowledge of the inner self and one's relationship with the God of his understanding. All things are possible with faith, insight, knowledge, understanding, acceptance, and love. Love is the unifying energy of the universe. Love is the energy of the one creative force, the wisdom of God. All life and all mankind are one in the creatorship and healing force of love and with each other. Love is within us and of us. Love is never apart from us. It is we who separate ourselves from the power of love. The force of God works through love and love alone.
Thank you, Cindy. And now we'll have just a few moments of quiet meditation so that we can concentrate on going within to find some peace and calm and healing for ourselves and the world. Bobby, would you give us a little bit of healing music today? Time and come back to the present. Please remember that we are always connected to the divine and each other. Use this peace and calm to take care of yourselves and all those around you in your communities and throughout the world in whatever way that you can. And if you would please add silently or aloud to the names of those you wish to include in this healing energy. And I want to let you all know that Reverend Pat Gates will use our prayers. She is home now, but I do put her on the healing list. Thank you. Thank you very much. And now we'll raise our vibration before we hear from our speaker. Reverend Bobby, what do you have for us?
I have a little joy in my heart.
All right.
I got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart, down in my heart. I got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I got that love of spirit in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I got that love of spirit in my heart. I got that love, 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 love down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I got that love, 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 love down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I got that love of spirit in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I got that love of spirit in my heart. I got that peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I got that peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I got that love of spirit in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I got that love of spirit in my heart.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And now it's time for inspiration and thought exchange brought to us by today's speaker. We do invite everyone to address this assembly with words of inspiration, lessons learned, or passionate ideas. And today I bring my teacher, my mentor, and my friend, Reverend Elaine Thomas, is here to speak with us today. She's been in the metaphysical field for 44 years as a medium, healer, spiritual counselor, and teacher. And she was trained in the tradition of spiritualism's foremost early thinkers as a student of renowned medium and teacher Reverend Edith Sandy Wendling, which that song was for today, Elaine. So, and Wendling was herself a student of England's Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and his wife, Lady Doyle. In '88, Reverend Elaine co-founded and became co-director of the School of Spiritual Healing and Prophecy and foundational pastor of Fellowships of the Spirit, which is a non-denominational spiritualist church. For the past 31 years at least, Elaine has trained and ordained spiritual healers and mediums from around the United States and Canada. So I bring you my friend, Elaine Thomas. If you would unmute yourself and let's hear what you have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you. And Bobby, I want to thank you so much for being so linked in with me because my subject today is about love. So it was just perfect. It was perfect as usual. So thank you for inviting me and good morning. I'd like to speak about love and its powerful healing force in our lives. And I know I'm speaking to the choir, but I want to say to you, not sing to you a song, because I don't have Bobby's voice and you'll run screaming away from your Zoom cameras if you hear me sing, because I was once uninvited by our choir director at the church I trained in. He said, Elaine, you sing a half step off. Do you think you could volunteer for something else in the church? So I'm going to say the words to the song, not sing it. And it's an old Beatles song. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. There's nothing you can't do that can't be done. There's nothing that you can sing that can't be sung. There's nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love is all you need. There's nothing you can know that isn't known. Nothing that you can see that isn't shown. There's nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. It can be easy just as being present to the following story that I saw last night on the NBC Nightly News. It was a story about a young family whose toddler son, KJ, was in an accident and lost one of his legs this year from the knee down. And it showed him with a walker and his prosthetic leg learning how to walk with his new equipment. He was at the hospital at the same time as Blake Leeper, a famous Paralympic runner who had prosthetics on both legs, who also was there to be fitted for new ones. They met and became fast friends as Blake cheered KJ on and showed KJ the enthusiasm for the walking that he was starting to do. Blake, who had no previous ties to this family, took the time to show this little boy what was now possible for him. He said, though KJ had a single handicap and a significant one, he had at least 1,000 other blessings in his lives and opportunity, and he wanted to share with KJ what will and what is possible for this little boy, and to focus this his energy and his thinking and his feelings on those 1,000 possibilities, not the disability. The love that you could see on the screen, and some of you may have been watching this on the news last night, was amazing. And if you get the chance, go online and look up January 23rd for NBC Nightly News and look for that story. It's right at the end. It's one of those inspirational endings to the news. And it made me glow. And at the last minute, I added it to my talk. But the love that came from each one of them, you could see how it changed not only their lives, but the lives of KJ's parents moving forward and gave them inspiration and strength as well. You know, 2 Corinthians, which I'm sure you're familiar with, also has something to say about love. If I speak in the tongues of men and angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all the mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to move mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all I have, and if I deliver up my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. And love never ends. So now faith, hope, and love abide, these 3, but the greatest of these is love. Sometimes the easiest and most simple things that we are fully capable of seem hard at different times in our lives. And for those of you who've ever seen the vintage film, The Empire Strikes Back, and Jenni knows, Reverend Jenni knows it's one of my favorite metaphors. There's a scene just after Luke Skywalker has crash landed their spaceship on a swampy planet, and it appears they are stuck there. Luke tries to levitate the ship out of the swamp and fails. Luke then says to Yoda, I don't believe it. Yoda's response is, that is why you fail. So we all know what we believe and what we don't believe and what we partially believe. Are we taking actions on our beliefs? And which ones are we living in action? There's an old African proverb that goes like this: while you pray, keep walking. Or in the book of James, chapter 2, verse 26, for as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is also dead. So we see love as a dynamic force, not just an emotion. With love, all things are possible. How many times have we heard those words? And yet, how many times have we brushed these very words aside and thought or said what Luke said? I don't believe it. My good friend Tom Kratzley has this to say about the power of love. And it goes like this: grace is the power of love that renders all mistakes temporary. I'll say it again. Grace is the power of love which renders all mistakes temporary. And it is always available to us if we open ourselves up to it. That's doing our part. Obviously, we're living through extremely challenging times. So what are we doing with the challenges that are so apparent to each one of us? Where's our focus? What actions are we taking to cope? What actions are we taking to thrive, to be resourceful right where we are? Are we focusing only on the drama and the challenges or the tragedies and what is outside the scope of our individual lives to do something about? And as a result, perhaps feeling sad, angry, or hopeless? Or are we counting our blessings, as the old hymn says, whatever they are? Are we looking and acting on what we can do right now where we are with the resources and the choices available to us right here, right today, now? For example, I'm not always a big Facebook fan, but I love the funny and uplifting posts that some people put up. I also know several people who are alone and are having a rough time keeping their chin up and not being out and about or being able to see friends and family because they're very isolated because of possible COVID contact. So daily, I go searching on Facebook to look for the funny and the inspirational, to text to these folks as their daily laugh therapy to brighten their day, to give just a few seeds that might make a difference to these people that I care about, to lift the clouds and remind them that though the sky appears to be gray, even if we look just for a minute above those clouds, the sun is always shining. There's always hope and possibility if we choose to look and then do. I often get some of the following responses from these texts. Quote, this was so funny, I almost fell off my chair. Or, that post was so inspiring, it really gave me just what I needed today. Or, you have no idea how much I look forward to this every day. Thank you. A seemingly small action on our part can make a huge difference. A small thing for me to do and a big thing for my friends and family who are wondering how they will get through the day. What about the food banks in your area? I'm sure some of you may volunteer. Many of us can't do that though. And with so many people who are hungry, people who have never in their lives had to ask for public assistance, can you donate $5 a week or a month or buy a few canned goods to donate? Or do you know someone who would love a meal or a dessert from you? Perhaps you could drop it off on their doorstep and just let them know how much you care. Remember, if many of us do a little, the results can be huge. Do you do takeout? What about making those frontline people who are risking so much by going to work every day and help them? With what you can afford, you might give the bigger tip and verbally let them know how much you appreciate what they do under scary and difficult circumstances. The possibilities of the small but significant ways we can give are endless. Mother Teresa said, "We can do no great things, only small things with great love." And sometimes it's the small things, the gestures, the moments, which have made and do make the biggest impact on all of our lives. So what are you doing for yourself? This school called life is the making or breaking of us. And no matter what we may think in any given moment, the choice and responsibility is always ours. Life is a continuous series of challenges, opportunities, choices, and yes, blessings. It is never an either or. There are always, yes, always, more than 2 or 3 options in how we can deal or don't deal with any given situation. What we do or don't do, or all these things are up to us. The inspiration and miracles that we often look for in good times and bad don't always come in a single flash of time. Sometimes they come to us with every step forward we take, when every instinct urges us to step back. Sometimes these miracles come with the simple courage it takes to make the first step to do something we have put off. Remember, courage doesn't mean we aren't afraid. It just means we're willing to step up and do it anyway. Some of us are list makers. So what would be on your list to enrich your own life right where you are right now? There are probably some easy, simple things as well as the big ones. Maybe it's time to start with a small one and build up steam for the bigger ones that you're not ready to do yet, or you just don't want to. Are we good to ourselves? Are we good to ourselves and as good to ourselves as we are to others? Now, there's a loaded question that probably is applied to us at one time or another. There's a saying, if we keep on doing what we've been doing, we will keep on getting what we have. The choice is ours. So what choices are we making? So where are our strengths? Where do you go in times of challenge or trouble? To worry, to pain, or to possibility, prayer, and action? So what do we truly believe? And do we make room for the dynamic force of love in our life? For yourself, for others, for what you choose to do when you might like to, what you might like to do isn't necessarily a current option. There's another vintage Beatles song that I love. It's called Let It Be. And that song deals very well with this subject, and its meaning can be looked at in a number of different ways. This too I will recite to you instead of sing. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. It's a song of faith, of longing, of hope, and of possibility. It can be taken as a passive message, as I'm turning this over and my faith is giving this to the divine. It can also be a message of dynamic affirmation, pronouncing that it will be through the power of God. It can be sung to mean that I am doing my part along with the divine, just as some might affirm and pray, it shall be so for my highest good, or it shall be so in the name and the power of the Holy Spirit, or any other name of God. So are we going to bemoan our current situations, or are we going to do what is within our power and place to take action, to make our little corner of the world better for us and those we love and those we choose to reach out to? The choice is ours. It's always ours. Free will is ours, and so is the law of grace if we believe and act on its powers and principles. And I would like to end today with the following excerpt from John O'Donohue's book, to bless the space between us. I believe each of us can bless. When a blessing is invoked, it changes the atmosphere. Some of the plenitude flows into our hearts from the invisible neighborhood of loving kindness. In the light and reverence of blessing, a person or situation becomes illuminated in a completely new way. In a dead wall, a new window opens. In a dense darkness, a path starts to glimmer. And into a broken heart, healing falls like morning dew. It is ironic, so often we continue to live like paupers though our inheritance of spirit is vast. The quiet eternal that dwells in our souls is silent and subtle. In the activity of blessing, it emerges to embrace and nurture us. Let us begin to learn how to bless one another. Whenever you give a blessing returns to unfold you. I wish to thank you all. I wish you all the love, the will, and the power and the grace to live your lives fully under any circumstances, and to remember that this time we were moving through is a chapter in our lives, not just the whole book. Thank you for your time, kind attention, and God bless you now and in the future, and have a blessed, happy, and loving day.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you so much. I know that you have to leave shortly, but I want to open it up for some questions or comments before you leave.
Absolutely.
So if anybody has a question or comment, please wave your hands frantically at me so I can see you, please. And let me look. Oh, come on, y'all can't be that quiet. Now, come on. And first of all, Elaine, I want to let you know that both of those songs, those Beatles songs, are in our hymnal. They're both in our hymnal. So
Perfect.
Oh, yep. I'm surprised Bobby. Yeah, I could see Bobby just itching to play it. I know. Cindy Hudson, go ahead, please.
I'm not the unmute queen, but thank you so much, Reverend Elaine. And I thank you for reminding us to take care of ourselves. You know, the slogan about put the oxygen mask on your own face first, so we can be the best we can be as we move forward, and to carry that love forward into our days. And also the small acts of kindness, not to take those for granted. I think that's, again, I really appreciate those reminders. I appreciate your talk today. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. You know, one of the things I noticed when walking through the supermarket, or recently when I was at the dentist's office, people seem to be scowling and looking past their masks. And I got into a discussion with somebody about how we need to remember to smile behind our masks at one another, because people were pushing their carts in the grocery store with this grim look and totally focused within. And like you said, Cindy, it's those little things to remind ourselves that, you know, to look on that sunny side and remember to connect with each other. And you can see the smile crinkles, even though people are wearing masks. And it's those little things that brighten our day.
Yep.
I love it. Watch for the smile crinkles. I like that. Okay. All right. Is there anybody else that wants to say anything before we move on? Fran Dittrich.
Hi, Elaine. I really appreciate you being here. I took your two classes at fellowship, and it's great to see you, and really great to hear you talk again. It brought it all right back to me, and it was a wonderful talk. Thank you for the reminders.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Batya.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you too for that reminder to be appreciative of what we could do in our daily lives and what we could manifest on a present moment basis. That's what I got out of your talk anyway, because it's so easy to think of what we can't do.
Right.
So thank you. I really hear everything you said.
Great. Thanks. Yeah. It started with I have a 93-year-old mother-in-law who's awesome. Just 2 years ago, she gave up tennis, and the year before that, she gave up sailing because she said her serving arm was being affected by pushing the small sailboat on and off of the carrier. And you know, now she's really stuck inside, and she's always been so active. And for her, it's torture. And, you know, she was a phys ed teacher as well most of her life. And so for her to be stuck inside and not with people and doing things. And so she's got the greatest sense of humor. And so I started searching for things for her. And then I realized, well, there are other people that I know that could use a good laugh, and so could I. And you know, silly things like I saw a post with a dog and a skunk, and the dog was sitting very patiently while the skunk was eating its food. And the caption went something like, sometimes it's good to have patience, you know, and you know, silly things like that. But I can see on your faces, you know, just for a moment, everything that's going on outside on the big picture gets suspended, and we can be in that humor and that joy for a moment. And it's equivalent to what somebody would say would be a B12 shot. You know, it's like it gives you that boost and does a reset. And then from that moment, you know, everything changes. Or I love this metaphor, if you don't mind my taking an extra minute or two here, Jenny, but it's like, some of you won't remember this, but I'm dating myself terribly here. There was a time when we had those slates and there was a cellophane sheet on top and then little wooden stylus, and you would draw and write on it. And then when you would lift the cellophane, it would clear and all the writing and drawing would be gone. And I often think about those little moments when we laugh, just like we did about that silly post. It's like pulling up the cellophane and we do a momentary reset of our mind, our emotions, our nervous system. And so then we can go forward from that inner space with that energy. And it's not a big thing, it's a little thing. And yet it has big results. So I thought, you know, that's what's behind all of that for me. And if we can kind of retrain ourselves to be not just purposeful, but purposefully smiling, purposefully looking for those moments to enhance not just the positive, but the joy and the love and the sharing that we're all capable of, just right where we are. So thank you. Anybody
Thank you.
else?
Yeah, I'm taking one last look here. Rebecca, unmute yourself, and what is your comment? Rebecca, you're still muted, hon. All right,
Okay,
there you go.
okay. Now my video, let's see.
That's
You
okay.
there?
We're here.
We're here. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I just wanted to thank Elaine. I really enjoyed her discussion this morning. I remember her from my part 1 of the spiritualism training, and I was looking forward to part 2. But the problem was, obviously, we came upon the COVID. But anyway, I wanted to thank you, Elaine. You sounded great.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Rebecca.
You're so welcome.
All right, I think that is it. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. And thank you again, Elaine. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be here. I so much appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And I love being with you guys too, and have a wonderful day and find your little nucleus of love in a new way and open up to it and spread that love and that joy. And as you all know, it comes back to us manyfold. God
right,
bless.
will
Thank you
do.
for
Bless
inviting
you.
me.
Thank you, Elaine.
Talk
Thank
to
you
you
so much.
soon. Thanks. God bless.
Okay, now for a couple of announcements. Next week, we have our speaker is Reverend Barbara Douglas. This coming Tuesday is the 2:00 thought exchange online, and that is Lydia is going to be running that for us this week. Wednesday, there is our in-person meditation with Reverend Cindy Hudson at the church at 7 p.m. In February, we're going to be going to 2 virtual meditations with Renee. The first and fourth Wednesdays will be virtual meditations with Renee Roth, Reverend Renee, excuse me. And on February 13th, there is a Valentine's Day reading event, and you can learn more about that on Facebook and also the website to come in and get your, oh goodness, what did we call it? We called it a visionary Valentine. Give yourself a visionary Valentine this year and join us for that. All right, and now we'll move into a little bit of message work. As spiritualists, we believe that the energy of all beings is forever linked and that all of us have direct access to the love and guidance of loved ones, guides, teachers, saints, healers, and angels on the other side. We do have mediums here today that I hope will be of service today. Don't feel necessary that you have to. If I call on you and you don't feel so inspired today, that's perfectly fine. First, I'd like to call and see if there are any volunteers for message work today. Does anybody feel so inspired that Allison Weeks? Yes, please. Thank you for serving. Almost.
Okay,
There you go. You're on. You're on.
okay. Patricia, would you like a message? You're muted.
She's nodding. Yes, go ahead.
Patricia, I feel like you have sons. And I don't know if you can confirm that with a thumbs up for me that you have maybe a pair of sons.
I have one son and I have a baby brother that is 10 years younger than me, and he's 10 years older than my son. So they are kind of close together, but yeah.
I'm feeling some conflict there between the two of them.
Okay.
Don't get involved. Don't pick a side. Don't get involved. You're going to want to, and it may already be brewing. Don't get involved. Don't do it. Because you love them both the same. So you just have to keep that place in neutrality and you'll be fine.
Okay. Because I helped raise my baby brother.
Okay.
Yeah. But they've been, they're both into music and they collaborate together and then they fall out together. So yeah, it's been going on.
Yeah. Don't get involved. You love them both. Don't get involved. It's only your place to be a beacon of, you're so calm. You've got such a beautiful, calm spirit. And you are what you're supposed to be teaching them and what you teach everybody around you is living from this place of neutral love, of being in this kind of centered, I love you, I'm calm. There can be a storm outside of me. I am the eye of the storm. It swirls around me, but I'm the calm in the center. And your family is very much relying on you to be the calm in the center. That's also going to take a toll on you. So make sure you're resetting and you're doing what you need to do for yourself so that you can hold on to that calm. But everybody in your life is depending on that calm center that you have.
Wow.
And it's beautiful. And just keep it up. And Spirit says you're doing a great job. And I'll leave that with you.
I got chills. Thank you.
Meg Harris, I feel like I have a message for you, although I don't know what it is. Would you like one?
Yes. Hi.
Yes. Hi, how are you? Okay, let's see what they want me to tell you. You are, I feel just like you're, and I think everybody is going through this, you're just feeling like you're living through a lot of fear right now. I feel a lot of fear kind of swirling around you. I want for you to just take a step back and to it is not as frightening as you think it might be. It's like the beast in the corner is about 3 times the size and it's just a shadow. And I'm not feeling exactly, they're not telling me exactly what the fear is that this is around. I feel like it could be a health thing, but just understand that it is not as big and scary as you think it actually is. And I will leave that with you. Thank you for allowing me to serve.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you so much. Reverend Cindy Hudson, are you so inspired today? Thank you.
I will give it a shot. Good morning, everybody. Liz M., would you like a message this morning?
Yes. Hi,
Hi.
Cindy. Thank you.
Sure. Good morning, Liz.
Morning.
I didn't know who the Liz M. would be. Now that I hear your voice, I think I know who
Okay.
you are. But your mother's in spirit, I believe, and
Yes.
she's coming through, and she is telling me that she is a very strong woman. She may not have had a very forceful personality, but she is showing me she had a lot of backbone, that she was a very strong woman in that regard. And she's wanting you to, there's some areas where I think that you're kind of feeling a little bit slouched, I'll say, a little bit not such a strong backbone. And she's wanting you to straighten up, and she's wanting you to march forward with the same, I'm going to use the word courage, though that's not, it's because I'm getting a feeling and it's hard to always put feelings into words. But I'm going to say that same strength, that same courage, that same confidence. She wants you to move forward that way and not slouch, not take the easy route, but to move forward more assertively with the situation that's in and around you. I feel like there's some family relationships, some relationships of people that you're close to that are maybe getting a little bit sideways, and everybody's getting a little bit sideways sometimes with all this isolation. You need to be the strong one in this situation, and you need to kind of carry her backbone forward into this. And I hope that makes sense to you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
leave that with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let me see. Do you want me to do one more, Reverend Jenny? I don't know. How many
Yes, please. That would be great. Thank you.
today. Okay. Boy, Reverend Ann, would you like a message this morning? Ann Cheney, I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure if you're ordained yet or not. I apologize. But Ann Cheney, would you like a message?
I would love to have a message. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, sure. Good morning. And is your dad in spirit?
Yes.
Okay, so he's stepping in a little bit. Did he smoke cigarettes or something? Yeah, okay, because that's the coming in with the plume. Okay, so but that's just part of his identifier, I guess I'll say. But he is stepping in with you, and he is saying, honey, you're starting on a new path that is so original to this family. You know, whatever your family culture has been, you're on a different path in some regards from what the family culture has been. And he's really proud of you. He's kind of like, wow, look at her go. And just really giving you a lot of accolades and a lot of praise and a lot of pride that you may not have expected from him for the path that you're on. And there's a small dog around him. And I kind of feel like maybe at one point in life, there was a smaller dog, maybe kind of brown, nondescript color. Was he kind of fond of this little dog?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe he wouldn't really readily admit it to the boys, but he really had a soft spot for this dog. He's loving on the little dog's loving back. So just let you know, he's around you these days, Anne, and very, very applauding what you're doing and supporting you and moving forward. Okay.
Thank you so very much. That means a great deal.
Thank you. And thank you for the opportunity to serve, Reverend Jenny.
Thank you, Reverend Cindy. Brooke Mowry, I'm going to call on you to just give us one. You got one in you today, Brooke?
Actually, so the one that Cindy just gave was the one that I had, but it was for, I thought it was for Elaine because I was receiving it while I was speaking. So I don't know if she is still on here.
No, she's not still on. I'm sorry.
Okay. So the message that it was also, it was actually almost like verbatim the words that.
Okay.
But I do have a smaller message. I believe, I don't know, I can't see who all's on here, but I believe for Anthony is
yeah, Gregorio. Where are you still here, Anthony? There he is. He's waving. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm walking.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, Spirit was showing me a kind of shadow over your heart at the moment, and they are there to remind you to basically to break that shadow, to adjust where the light is, where it's going on it, and also to seek out other types of what's the word that I'm looking for? Guidance. Somebody new that you know that you haven't had any guidance from, that you're going to have a lot stronger and more deeper work done through this new person for you to seek out on your journey right now. But that was it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooke. Thank you for serving. And thank you for everybody's kind attention. Thank you to all participants and mediums, and especially to Spirit and the God of your understanding for being with us today and always. For those of you who may be new with us, you can learn more about the church at our website, which is thechurchoftheangels.net, or you can email us at thechurchoftheangels@gmail.com. And as usual, Spirit pointed out a book to me today. And I just want to read just a paragraph or two from The Untethered Soul. If you fall along the way, just get up and forget it. Use the lesson to strengthen your resolve. Let go right then. Do not rationalize, blame, or try to figure it out. Don't do anything. Just let go immediately and allow the energy to go back to the highest center of consciousness it can achieve. If you feel shame, let it go. If you feel fear, let it go. All of these are the remnants of the blocked energy that is finally being purified. Always let go as soon as you're aware that you didn't. Don't waste your time. Use the energy to go up. You are a great being who has been given a tremendous opportunity to explore beyond yourself. The whole process is very exciting, and you will have good times and bad times. All sorts of things will happen, and that's the fun of the journey. All right, and I just want to also mention that I will be putting Tom Kratzley's quote about grace from Reverend Elaine. I'll be putting that on the church's Facebook post, so look for it there if you want a copy of that quote, which is one of my favorites, and I'm glad she brought it up. Grace is the power of love that renders all mistakes temporary. And now we'll enjoy another song from Bobby before our closing prayer.
Okay. Here we go. I'm pressing on the upward way, new heights I'm gaining every day, still praying as I'm onward bound. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand by faith on heaven's tableland, a higher plane that I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. My heart has no desire to stay where thoughts arise and fears dismay, though some may dwell where those abound. My prayer, my aim is higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand by faith on heaven's tableland, a higher plane plant my feet on higher ground. I want to live in blessed love and hear the voices from above, for faith has taught the joyful sound, the song of those on higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand by faith on heaven's table land, a higher plane that I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground, a higher plane that I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground.
In closing, let us pray. Infinite Spirit, Mother, Father God, as we move forward, we thank you in advance for the guidance and resources you always provide for us to live the fullest expression of your love. We pray for all those affected by the circumstances around us, throughout our communities and our world, within our households. May we be reminded of the opportunities to reconnect in love to all those around the world, to Mother Earth, and to the universe. Amen.